Dr. Caitlin Snow, Cisco Ramon. Meet Dr. Harrison Wells from Earth 2.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here, once again with another Flash review. This is Season 2, Episode 5, entitled The Darkness and the Light. So sorry for no face cam, my computer's being a bit weird, so it's just audio for this review, but there will be spoilers in this review, so if you've not seen the episode, you might want to go watch it. And if you're going to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, leave any comments, and subscribe if you are new. So the episode actually starts off with a flashback to roughly about 8 months ago on Earth 2, where Harrison Wells on Earth 2 is doing a presentation on this new line of like metahuman, I guess you could say like notification devices or like detecting devices. We also get to see Jessie Quick here, who turns out to be Wells' daughter. Now Jay Garrick also turns up and reveals that Wells is behind all of the metahumans on Earth 2 due to a more subtle particle accelerator explosion which went off on Earth 2 as well. We then cut back to Earth 1 on present time. We see Harrison Wells meet Cisco, Caitlin, and the rest of the gang, I guess you could say. We find that he wants to help Barry take down Zoom. And also, it seems that like on that flashback, he's like denying it, but in this current state on Earth 1, he seems to have come to terms with him being the reason that the metahumans do exist on Earth 2. And also, he seems like a bit darker from the flashback, but we understand why towards the end of the episode, but I'll get into that. He also mentions that everyone loses someone. Now we get another tie into Legends of Tomorrow, where we actually meet Kendra Saunders, who will be playing Hawkgirl on Legend of Tomorrow, who is actually the new barista at Jitters. Now, being Cisco decides to hit on her, gets rejected, but then actually has a vision of a new metahuman from Earth 2 terrorizing Earth 1, and that new metahuman is actually Dr. Light, who at the current stage in this episode was robbing Central City Bank. Throughout this episode, there is major tension between Harrison Wells and Jay Garrick, which was probably expected. We did see that in that flashback, but it really does fuel up in this episode as well. Now, the biggest shock and the biggest surprise in this episode to me, sure, the thing at the end was pretty surprising as well, but this is something I wasn't really expecting at all, and that's finding out that Earth 2 Dr. Light is actually Linda Park. So Barry actually finds this out, but she manages to escape, but while escaping, she actually blinds Barry with like really high luminosity. And after this, Barry actually has to go on a date with Patty Spivot, which he hadn't organised, so he has to go on this date blind, and Cisco literally has to be his eyes, and it's a pretty funny scene as well. Now, Atlantis is actually name dropped in this episode. Yes, Aquaman's homeland, and it's when Jay Garrick and Caitlin sort of stalking, or not stalking, what do you call it, like just seeking or protecting the newspaper place, so the Dr. Light from Earth 2 does not go and kill her doppelganger, which is Linda Park from Earth 1. And Jay Garrick, that says one of his best friends is from Atlantis, which is obviously Aquaman. Now, Dr. Light actually tries to kill Linda Park, but is stopped like momentarily, I guess you could say, by Iris and Jay Garrick as well. But she actually ends up killing Larkin, who's actually like the newspaper editor. And the whole point of this was like that Dr. Light wasn't a killer, she was just a thief, and now this was her first registered kill, so now it might change her mentality. Now, following this, Wells and Jay Garrick actually have a punch-up, which is pretty funny, and this is basically after Wells has a go at him and calls him a coward for like not trying to stop Zoom and all, sort of like hiding away from Zoom. Now, in the same scene, Wells actually reveals to everyone that Cisco is a metahuman, which we already knew, but no one else in that room knew except for, I guess you could say, Dr. Stein, but he's gone, he's doing some Firestorm activities, so he reveals this so he can actually help them find Dr. Light. After finding Dr. Light, Barry actually uses his speed mirages. Now, if you remember, this is what like the Reverse Flash, or Earbud Thorn, used in Season 1 to sort of confuse people. So this is what Barry did to confuse Dr. Light in order to capture her. Now, the whole point of trying to capture Dr. Light was sort of to stop her from doing certain things, but it was also to use her as bait to lure in Zoom. Now, Jay does not agree with this. He doesn't really agree with anything in regards to capturing Zoom basically this whole season, because he doesn't want to see Barry lose his speed as well. So Jay actually leaves, and we don't know where he's going to go, so it might be interesting to see when he pops up again. And towards the end of the episode, we get Cisco getting Kendra Saunders' numbers finally, but he also gets given the name Vibe by Caitlin and Barry, as he feels, because he's a metahuman, he has to have a special name as well, which I thought was pretty funny. And the last thing in this episode is actually us seeing that Wells' daughter, aka Jessie Quick, I don't know if they're going to call it that on the show, not too sure, is actually being kept prisoner by Zoom. So what will this involve? How more will this evolve in the show? Like, when will we meet her again? When will they go back and try and rescue her? I don't know, I think they might just be setting this up for maybe 3 or 4 episodes down the track. We'll have to wait and see, but I thought that was a pretty good setup for something that happened later in this season. So overall, I'll give this episode about a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really cool episode, but the one question is, will we see more normal Earth 1 residents to be Earth 2 metahumans? So maybe we might see Iris as a metahuman, Joe as a metahuman, and the most notable one, which I think a lot of people want to see, is Caitlin Snow as Killer Frost, the metahuman from Earth 2. And I think it's going to happen. When will it happen? I'm not too sure. I'll probably do a bonus video on Flash over the weekend, or maybe on like Friday or something like that in regards to that, and maybe name drop some other potential Earth 2 metahumans that are just normal Earth 1 residents. But if you did enjoy the video, guys, make sure to leave a like, leave any comments on what you thought was your favourite thing in this episode, and subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.